and that's Donovan Mitchell, right? He ends up re-signing with the Cavs 3 years, 150 million, and like I'm extremely surprised that he re-signed, one, because I thought it was over in Cavs. Like the Cavs literally left him out high and dry out there in the playoffs. He was having to literally carry the load just to get him past. And I'm not disrespecting the Orlando Magic, but just to get him past the Orlando Magic, when from where the Magic were and where the Cavs were, like the Cavs should have been handled. That should not have went 7 games, in my opinion. But because Donovan Mitchell, not only injuries, and Donovan Mitchell was out there high and dry, I thought he was leaving. And it would have made perfect sense. Like if you tell me you're paying Bam Adebayo 55 to ensure to keep him, and you're also bringing Donovan Mitchell, now that changes everything, because now that 55 is not only keeping Bam, but it's also enticing Donovan Mitchell to come, and that makes all the sense in the world. But I guess to transition to that Donovan Mitchell point, talk to me about how you feel about that re-sign, or if you want to go back to the Heat, do whatever you want, brother.
No. I mean, we're good. There's not much else to say. I can tell you why it didn't happen.
Tell me.
When I do the math on Donovan Mitchell, a lot of it was how the season ended. I believe Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell genuinely like each other. Like, I believe they're bros. I believe Donovan Mitchell likes everybody on that team, and everybody likes him. The fundamental issue is that Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland overlap as far as like skill sets, and they don't complement each other. And I watched Darius Garland get underutilized when Donovan Mitchell was pounding the air out the ball. So that's my fundamental issue, and you paid so much. But the thing is Cleveland hasn't even started paying their draft capital to Utah yet. So they owe Utah still like 4 picks on top of Lauri Markkanen that they gave up for Donovan Mitchell. There was no way they was letting him walk out the door. Either he took the full ass extension or he was going to get traded, and there was no in between, because they could not be paying Utah when dude wasn't even on the team no more. So he wanted the best of both worlds. Brooklyn stunk too bad for him to want to go to New York, where he's from. The Knicks were already full up. He ran out of options. Did he want to pair himself with Zion Williams and his injury history? And is he the man in New Orleans? That just didn't pan out. So to me, the only 2 options were Orlando or Miami. Miami didn't have enough money in their pocket, bro. Cleveland lost all of their draft capital, and Miami's draft capital ain't juicy like that. So like for that deal wasn't going to happen. So let me tell you what Donovan Mitchell did. He didn't take the 4 years. He didn't he was eligible for a lot more money than he actually took. He's like, you know what? You guys fired the coach for me, and like all the vibes are good. Like, I love the area. Let me sign for 2 more years. Then I'll be 31 instead of 32, and I can sign for the 35% max. So in 2 years, he's about to bust him by the balls and say, give me that 35% max. Whether it's here or in Miami or wherever else, he's strategically just added 2 years just to keep the good vibes and set himself up for the one last huge 35% of the cap payday that he's about to collect on. So
now hold on, everybody.
Yep.
Before we move forward, okay, this is why I got Jason Gray, the CBA and cap specialist, on the show here with us today. Jay, that was amazing. I'm gonna be honest, Jay. Like for a person like me, or for a dude like me who, yes, like I've been, getting a lot more into cap and CBA and whatnot, because like that is a side of basketball. But me, Jay, I'm about that hoops. I'm about that fit wise. But that that is great intel. That is great information to have. Like knowing, you know what I'm saying? Knowing the situation. That explains the entire situation.
So the thing is it's not even intel, because I don't know nobody like that. I don't know nobody, but
it's intel. It's intel from your head.
You can read the tea leaves, and you're like, why did he do 2 instead of a 4-year extension? Well, he did 2 because then he's going to be the 10-year. Then that means you can get the 35% max instead of the 30. But then when you do 35% of the cap for 4 more years when you're a 10-year vet, we're talking about we're talking about $120 million difference if I time my shit right. And there was nothing pushing him out with Cleveland. Like, there's good vibes. You can feel it. Then the other teams couldn't come correct with the offer that Kobe Altman was going to want. So it's like, it's really tea leaves. You add 1, 2, 3, you figure it out, and you're like, okay, that makes sense. Like, it was good business. But I appreciate the compliment. But
I appreciate the comment. And then last thing, no, but that was great though, Jay. But last thing though, I will say on Donovan Mitchell is this: unless the Cavs make more moves, which you just broke it down pretty great to me, it doesn't look like they have much wiggle room. But unless they make more moves, they're bringing back the exact same roster, right? So, like, unless they make more moves, they're bringing back
Magic, the Knicks, the Celtics again.
Everybody's getting better, Jay. Like, that's what I'm saying. That's my one concern. It's like, unless they make another move, Jay, they're bringing back the same roster while teams around them in the Eastern Conference are all getting better. So if he's going to get the bag, do it. But if he's trying to win a championship, I'm not too sure that this was the best move
They're
for him.
4 deep because they can't. Okay, Mobley and Garland get better, but even Garland getting better, you may not see the benefits because the ball's in Donovan's hands the whole time, right? Mm-hmm. So unless Evan Mobley turns into Kevin Garnett overnight, like this has a ceiling to it. Yeah. And this was my whole problem with Donovan Mitchell in the first place.
Going to the Cavs.
You gave up all your picks and you got no depth, dog. Depth and injury prone. Cleveland ain't injury prone, a little bit lightweight with Donovan Mitchell, but the problem is they're 4 deep. And they're talking about trading Jared Allen. What are you going to get for Jared Allen? First off, he's a super solid role player. The second you trade him, you're going to need to replace him. Mm-hmm. What are you going to actually get for a $20 million player who's heading into the last year of his deal next year? Like, this is like, if you don't break it up or start stealing dudes in the second round and like low budgets, like home runs, they're not deep enough. You hit the nail on the head.
Absolutely, Jay.
That's a lucky second round team.
It's a lucky second round team, Jay.